Good morning and salam alaikum to everyone. As the name suggests, Future Summit, I have been assigned 15 minutes to summarize the future. It's a tough job, but it's a tougher job for you to grab in 15 minutes what the future looks like. Before I start, let me welcome the Minister of Tourism and Environment, Mr. Tariq Ibrahim, along with you all on behalf of Ooredoo Maldives and Future Summit for the session today. It's going to be summarizing some points which we'll be discussing together, which defines the future when it really comes to technology. If you see, the topic today is managed solutions for hospitality industry. You are all coming out from the hospitality industry, and this is how this is proliferating, one island, one resort, and technologically how advanced we are when it really gets compared to the world at large. But the simplest meaning of this is we are for you. Right? If I really need to summarize managed solutions, we are saying we are for you. So this slide is not only talking about the 9 markets Ooredoo is present today. It's not only talking about 156 million customers or $6.5 billion of revenue we have. But what we are saying and what we really want to communicate is that we have able to create the dialogue with the markets, with our customers, when it really comes to technologies. What we are saying is that we are accelerating the economies, and which we are really referring to as digital and connected economies in these countries. What we are saying is that we are turbocharging your operations or our customer operations when it really comes to technology. And we started our operations in 2005, and we'll be celebrating 20 years of our operations in Maldives. And this is how the technology has been evolving. Every one of you have the mobile number today, right? And you're connected, your homes are connected, your offices are connected. And this is how technology has been moving from 2G, 3G, 4G, and now you are using 5G handsets and devices. So what we are saying here is that it's a game of variables which is going on. And we'll be touching about it a little later. But what we are saying is that the networks are capable of delivering the businesses at large. So we started our journey as a telecom service provider. Today we are saying that we are integrated telecom solution provider. It means that we are delivering the e-commerce, we are delivering the mobile money, we are delivering the wearables, we are working with the big fives in the world, the companies like Microsoft, Google and all, to deliver these services through the same network. So this is how agility is building up, and many of you are using the services which are really futuristic in nature and very, very innovative. If we move forward, how that is possible, how that has been made possible, because there has been continuous investment into the technology upgrades. If we really see Maldives' footprint, right, 80% of the population is covered with 5G, which is the latest technology, which was in the world was launched only a couple of years back, 2 years, 3 years back. And here we are in Maldives, which has the access to the latest technology, which is 5G. And many of the devices and ecosystems is changing because the operators are also changing the technologies in the hands of the consumers, right? So this is the kind of huge investments which we have as an organization we have put in the country when it really comes to 5G. Not only here, in all our 9 markets. And when it really comes to providing the connectivity throughout the Maldives from point A to point Z, every island is connected today on this one. And this really comes as a case study for many organizations who don't see Maldives as a well-connected destination. When we are really looking from the tourists who are coming all across the world, they really get surprised the kind of speeds they get in Maldives when they are connected to the internet, when they are on their social media networks. The third important point is that this traffic is also growing. And it means that we really need to have the robust connectivity. These are not connected ones. Bringing the connectivity into the country is a big, big challenge and a very, very costly affair. But we are continuously investing in that. We have invested in Peace Cable, which is also carrying your and our traffic on daily basis. So once we get onto the social media in the morning or we are writing an email, it means that the data is traveling through many hubs. And that's why we invested in Peace International Cable, which is the 4th cable investment which we have done in the country. Other than that, how the technology is moving, right? So we are all using emails, I think, for many years. This is all getting hosted somewhere else, whether it is Hotmail, Gmail, and we are really not bothered about it. Same is the concept when it really comes to the business applications and mobilizing the industries and the verticals. We have the data centers in the country. Not only one, we have 2 data centers in the country, which runs the economy, which runs the operations and the business operations. And that's the kind of robustness which is required when it really comes to technology and those assets in the country. If we move forward, now this is a really interesting slide, and I really want a round of applause from all of you because these are all the resorts which are operating in the country, and they are appearing on the Wall of Trust. So today as an Ooredoo, if we really see, we are present in more than 150 resorts, right? And these are some of the resorts who have taken the edge in terms of the digital infrastructure, whether it is Esso Maldives, Jumeirah, Atmosphere Group, and many more, not only in the hospitality side, but also onto the government side when it really comes to accessing the infrastructure, which is the data center, how the judicial department of the country is using those data centers and those technologies to really, you don't want to give a round of applause to your colleagues? Thank you. And the story is continuing, right? It's continuing. Because of the paucity of time, 15 minutes, I cannot put all 150 resorts here, but all of you are connected with us and you all appear on the Wall of Trust for us. And that gives us the motivation to really come and bring new technologies to the country. Moving ahead, if we see, this is what we've been talking for a few years. Digital, digital, digital. And digital is the word which everybody knows about it. And slowly we are migrating towards AI, which is artificial intelligence. And this is a topic of discussion which is not for the mature people. Even our children are talking about AI. They're using chatbots. They are on the internet using different types of applications, which is using AI. So what we are saying is there, what's happening here? So what we have invested in the infrastructure and the assets which you're saying, our network is AI enabled today. When we say 5G and you're accessing that 5G, it is AI enabled network. When we are really talking about the data centers, they are AI-enabled data centers, how the applications are really operating today. And many of you are using the services which are hosted from Ooredoo, whether it is a call center operations, whether it is an entertainment, which we're calling IPTV. Many of those services are getting delivered, which are AI-enabled backup or the back of the operations. And when it really comes to the call center, now our call center is also ISO certified. And we are using chatbots, which are also AI-enabled. So when we are really saying the journey from digital resorts, which is the scattered infrastructure, is moving towards the AI resorts, right, which is primarily talking about the intelligent infra. And why we need to really move from scattered infrastructure to the intelligent infra? Because the information is the key. And through that information, there are many applications which are running. Through that information, there are many decision makings which are happening. And I was talking about the game of variables, its speed and time. If we see here, there's something called a reverse modeling. And it looks very simple. We experience it on day-to-day basis, right? So there are industries which have adopted the reverse modeling, whether it is an automotive industry, we are talking about electric cars, and now we are talking about driverless cars, where AI is again playing a vital role. So somebody says that, okay, fossil fuel, environment, all these are challenges, so the invention of electric cars happened. So we have started looking at the things in a reverse way, right? But it's more beneficial. When we are looking in the reverse way, it's more beneficial for us to come up with those kinds of concepts which are progressive in nature. If we really look from in Switzerland, you see, we don't say that we are going or we have to travel 30 kilometers. We say that by this time we'll reach that destination. So it's a Swiss thing. Somebody has done the reverse modeling there as well, saying that our times and our watches gives the precision time, right? And serving fresh, we all are in the habit of ordering online, right? We don't want to go and eat in a restaurant. We want to order online. What was the core line for ordering online? That we deliver or you get delivered or you get served in 15 minutes. Somebody has taken a seat back and saying that no, you can order online, but our tagline is that we serve fresh. If you're serving fresh, you cannot deliver in 15 minutes, right? So that's again a concept of reverse modeling. It is happening and getting adopted by many, many industries. Chatbot is the latest example. 3D printing in the medical is another example of reverse modeling. And dark factories. That's another thing which is coming up with the robots and robotics, that you don't need a human intervention, right? You can run your factories without light in the night with the help of robots, and your production capacity goes high. And these dark factories are again a product of AI. So what we are saying is that AI is sitting everywhere, whether we want it or we don't want it, it's sitting in our phones, it sits on our applications. Today, if you're on WhatsApp, you see there is AI or a meta search which has been enabled by them, by WhatsApp, right? So you can go and can ask any questions. And same is the world we are entering into, the AI resorts. We are working with many resorts on these technologies who are really looking a very, very progressive future, who really wants to give the best of the guest experience, and are evaluating those technologies from our side. So this is a grid, right? This grid I'm running for many years, right? The only thing is that this grid is adding up a new functionality after a few months. This is how, on the left-hand side, how we have learned about internet. We have been part of that. That has becomes business as usual. But it took us almost 10 years to really understand what internet and to get ourselves really trained on that one. The next phase is a digital era phase, which is shorten the timeline. And we have seen that many of our operations, our business operations, our personal things are running digitally, and we have adopted this concept in our day-to-day operations. We are saying cloud computing is there, and blockchain, augmented reality is there. The third era which we are entering into is the AI era, right? So virtual reality, which is getting talked about, digital twins which are there, which is coming up, augmented and virtual reality combination which is there. So this is the era we are into now, right? So we are calling it as a digiti era. We cannot say from internet we have jumped to the digital era, and now we are going to the artificial intelligence era. So these two eras are getting clubbed together, and that's why it is coming as a digiti era. And I was mentioning to you about game of variables. So we know the formula, speed equals to distance into time. Distance is constant, and speed and time is changing with the technological changes which are happening across the world. And you can see it in your operations as well. So this is what we are saying. I have shown and shared with you the wall of trust. It means there is a lot of insights which has been shared by the different personalities in the resorts, whether it is GM, CFOs, or the sourcing guys, that what is required to make their operation seamless and needs to be futuristic in nature. So what we are saying is that you can focus on your core, you can have your own network. Now this is a concept, right, which was never heard of. You can own your own phone, but how can you own your own network? What are you talking about? So this is the concept which is coming up with 5G, a private 5G. It's a reality today that any resort or any of the customer can own their own network. It means that they can define the usage on their data, on their voice, on their applications, which is captive for them on their premise. It's something like running your own operations. So that's the kind of independence now which technology is bringing. The second important thing is that you can define your own digital journey, right? So there is huge investments which happens today when it really comes to technologies by the businesses, by the operations, from the hospitality industry. Every resort has their own private infrastructure. If it is a call center, they are deploying it from scratch. If it's a service, they are putting it from scratch. So there is no shared infrastructure which is happening. And that's why we are saying we have brought the concept of a serverless resort. It means that it reduces a lot of capex for our customers, and they can have and enjoy the applications in a much, much more seamless way on the hosted environment. And that's why we have brought the concept called serverless resort. And when it really comes to the data, security comes as a first part, right? So security is an integral part of the serverless resort concept. And managed services and governance model is very, very important to run these operations. So if we are, now imagine a situation that your resort is running without any infrastructure, right? Without you being taking any visibility of that infrastructure, right? And it's running seamlessly. And that's what's happening today. Many of the resorts are running their call centers from a hosted data center, which I just showed you. So there is no physical assets. They are running seamless, their operations, and it is flexible and it gives them more insight in terms of analytics. So that's the advantage. The same is the Wi-Fi, right? Every guest, every employee needs a Wi-Fi. Why you really need to have that kind of infrastructure at the place, which can be done remotely, which can be controlled remotely, right? And private 5G, when I'm really talking about, if you see at the resort, there are thousands of APs. There are APs in the room, there are APs in the restaurants, there are APs all over, and they are all connected through wires. And still, we face the issue that the connectivity is not good and I'm not getting onto the internet, and some guests are complaining continuously about that one. How much bandwidth should I take? So all those things are getting taken care by the private 5G or by the new technologies which are coming through. So what we are saying is that the whole objective is to really give better guest experience, and there is a AI-enabled infra and tools and invisible ICT infra, which is there, it's live. We are running demonstrations with few resorts, and that concept is very, very much live. So you don't see any wire. You don't see any infrastructure linked to the IT, and your operations are running perfectly well with full control on private 5G with you. So this is what we are saying, the managed services, the managed services concept which is there. People were saying that if AI comes, it's taking away the jobs. That's not the reality. The jobs are taken away by the people who know AI, right? It's not, the AI is not going to take anybody's job. And this is the debate which is there in the industry across the world. The people who know about AI are replacing the people who don't know anything about AI. And that's the upskilling which is happening across the world, across the hierarchy, across the generations. The same is the concept on the managed services. So we are independently, every resort is independently managing their infrastructure, right? That's not what the future holds for us, right? That's why we as an operator are investing into the technologies which can enable you to operate your infrastructure seamlessly under the managed portfolio. So if you really see all these services, whether it is network services, equipment services, data center services, all are connected through wires and the physical infrastructure which is there. If I really change this, this is how it looks like. So you really don't see any of the resorts which is getting dug multiple times in laying the fibers and doing that kind of a stuff. So it's really simplifying the infrastructure, the architecture, but it's important if you want to run your applications, if you really want your PMS to run successfully, and many of the assets are going into the cloud, and it's not something like which we are bringing and which we are saying new. What we are saying here is that the data centers which are available in the country, you can utilize that, and you can have more flexibility and cost savings at large, plus the access to the new technologies which is there. So this is, if I really see, we started with VR4U, how that's possible, right? So this is the 3-layer architecture which we have created. The first layer definitely is gonna be sitting with you. The second and the third layer is what is getting into the governance model with us. And this is how we are saying, whether you're running your IPTV, your entertainment systems, whether you're running your Wi-Fi, your internet, whether you're running your call center operations, or whether you're running your business operations, everything can be governed through this infrastructure which is already available there. And once you have all this, the third layer comes as a governance layer, right? How this will be monitored, if you really want to bring in any changes, how those changes will be impactful. So this is a simplified architecture which we have created, and few resorts have already started their journey on this one, because this holds the future, this holds the future from the perspective of a better guest experience and new technologies in the hands of the customer. And it's a very, very, I'll say, live input which comes. When a guest is checking in, right, you can count 2 people have checked in, or a family of 3 has checked in. But you don't know there is an invisible check-ins happens that they are coming up with 10 gadgets with them, right? Somebody wants to have their Netflix account, somebody really wants to go to Amazon, somebody wants to do the online gaming, and the IT really gets stressed with that. The internet is in huge demand, right? And that's, if you really see in terms of that, where your costs are really going towards, that's going towards primarily making the guest happy. So what we are saying is that these kinds of technologies really help to manage in a way so that you're not concerned about that, right? How many devices are getting checked in with the 3 guests or 2 guests? And this is a continuous debate, at least for the last 7, 8 years, we have been part of that, and we are designing solutions to make it very, very easy for the resorts to adapt to the managed services portfolio. We are not bothered about, you are only bothered about the output, right? This is the specific KPI which needs to be monitored, and my guests should be happy and smiley all the time. So this is the governance model which is really working now, and it's very much live in the country. And when we really say that we are an operator, right, and all these applications are getting used by you or by the users, by our people in different verticals and different segments. And if we name the big 5s like Microsoft, NVIDIA for the GPUs, Google, SentinelOne for the security, so we have global partnerships with them, right? Now you think that these brands are available as a first-hand partnership with Ooredoo in the country. So if we really want to have the Microsoft, which is like we start our day in the business operations with the Microsoft with our mails on our phones or on our desktops, here's the direct partnership which we have. So we are shortening this time for our customers to bring them the latest and the big names in the country. So what we are saying is that, and these are like trillion-dollar companies, right? If you really talk about Microsoft or NVIDIA, we are really talking about trillions of dollars. Those trillion-dollar companies are getting empowered by the billion-dollar companies, which are the operators like us. And we are delivering to millions of customers these services. And this is how the chain reaction is happening. So these are the kind of partnerships which we have, which is working for us across all our footprint, and that's available in the country now. So when people say that, okay, Maldives, maybe a couple of years they were saying that, I don't think that we can get a faster connectivity. That's not true. We have the fastest network if you really compare it with the Southeast Asia region, right? And this is the experience and this is the feedback which comes from the market. We have the best of the partnerships across the world which are sitting in the country, and businesses are taking advantage of that. So this is about the partnership, but I would like to take the opportunity today to unveil our third volume of Business Connect letter. So this is going to be in your hands by July, and this is the moment I really wanted to take to unveil this business newsletter. It talks about the reverse modeling, it talks about our 20 years of operations, it talks about the world of trust with our customers. So this brings me to the end of the discussion and the presentation today, but our team is here for any conversation throughout the day. We are available. And we look forward to really work very, very closely on many of these concepts and these technologies for you. But before I sign up, there is a small video which I really want, which summarizes and which gives us a glimpse of what actually we are doing on ground in the country.
Every business needs technology that keeps pace with their goals. We don't just provide connectivity. We provide tech solutions that fuel growth, power what's next. From boutique hotels to global enterprises, government agencies to growing startups, we understand that different companies and industries require different needs. And we deliver just that. What do we bring to your business? 5G, mobile and fixed connectivity for your daily needs. ICT infrastructure that thinks ahead. Cloud services with high security that scales with your business. Managed services that handle the complexity, IoT solutions that connect everything together. But here's what makes us different. Our infrastructure doesn't just connect, it adapts. We provide you with the regional insights. Make sure you get the competitive edge. We partner with the world's greatest tech leaders to deliver you with plug-and-play simplicity when you need speed. Custom-built brilliance when you need that precision. Collaborate with a tech partner that understands your vision. Someone who builds solutions that don't just meet today's needs, they anticipate tomorrow's opportunities. Ready to think differently about connectivity? Partner with unlimited possibilities. Partner with Uridu.
Thank you and have a wonderful day.